My one and only goal for this video is to make it the most definitive video on this topic. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be shocked because you've never seen it put so simply before. I'm going to cover the who, what, when, where, why, and how of subscribership. And I'm going to tell you right now, you have to start asking people to subscribe, but it's not what you think. So let's get started with the who of subscribership. Now, when we talk about the who, we're talking about two groups of people. It is one, you, the creator, and two, the person who's watching your video that you hope at one point will be a subscriber. Now, there's at least one thing that unifies both of these groups, and it's the fact that you are both real people. You, as the creator, are trying to create content that is great, it's engaging, it's something that the person who's watching needs, and that's what brings you together. And that's why the who is so important, because as the creator, you only need to consider that person who's watching, and your content needs to be made in every case for that person. Your job is to simply create satisfying content for them, and that's it. That is the core of building an audience on YouTube, and there is nothing else to it. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the what of subscribership. The what of subscribability is simply that a subscribe to your channel is a bookmark for the person who's interested in what you have to say. It's them indicating to you and to YouTube that they want to know what you have to say. They want to potentially see some of your future content. And I think it's important to remember that this is how it is treated by YouTube and how it should be treated by you as well. That is the benefit for the person subscribing, but there is also benefit for you as the creator from this subscribability, this what factor. And that's two things. The first thing is that when someone subscribes to your channel, they are indicating to the algorithm that you have something of value. You have something that interests a person like them and could potentially interest other people like them. The second thing, which is less important but still valuable nonetheless, is the public perception of authority. How many times have you been on YouTube and you've looked at a channel and it has 500 subscribers and you go, I don't know, maybe the video's good, but I don't know if I can trust it as much. But then you go to a channel that has 500,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, and there's just this air of authority about whatever it is that they say. That public perception is important, primarily less important for people watching you, although it still does play a part, but even more important when it comes to turning your YouTube channel into a business. People like to see, brands who want to work with you like to see larger numbers of subscribership. It shows that you've been around, it shows that people like what you're doing. This is a very, very important piece and something very valuable as far as subscribability goes. All right, so let's talk about the when and the where of subscribing. This is probably one of the biggest questions on this topic. When should I be asking for subscribers? Should I even be asking for subscribers? And over the years, so many different creators have given their different opinions on this. But after watching so many of their videos and then being on YouTube for years and years myself, I believe that asking for subscribership is key because it shows that you believe in the value that you are providing. Now, it's important. When do you ask for them specifically? We're going to talk about a few places that you can always ask for subscribership and ways you can ask for subscribership that's not going to come off as needy or overbearing. One of the most popular places to ask for a subscribe is at the beginning of the video. And to be honest, this is the worst place that you could ever ask someone to subscribe because they don't know what you're going to give them yet, right? It's a place when they're just barely getting started. You're supposed to be hooking them into the meat of the video, telling them what they're going to get, and then you just stop everything and say, please like and subscribe to my channel because we really need it. That is the absolute worst time. A way better time to ask someone to subscribe to your YouTube channel is after you've provided them some amount of value. Now you might go, Nathan, that makes total sense, or I already thought of that, or isn't that sort of obvious? Yes, you'd think it was obvious, but it's not. People always ask at the beginning of their YouTube videos, but it would be way better to give them some value first and say, if this really helped you, or if this was shocking to you, something you'd never thought of before, please hit the subscribe button. This is what we do on this channel. This is the value that I provide in every single video that I create, and I will never let you down on that. That is the type of thing that will actually get people to subscribe. Two other great places in your videos to ask people to subscribe is comments after you do something funny, or you tell a joke, you really engage with the audience in a way that they could connect with, that is a great place. One other place is just at the end of your video. For anyone who's really stuck along to the entirety of your video, those are people who are more likely to subscribe, and you can once again remind them of the value that you provided and say, this really does help my channel. Those of you who are watching all the way to the end of my videos, those of you who are here learning, engaging in the comments and want to be here, please be a subscriber so that we can actually continue to have this relationship together, so that we can grow together, so that I can continue to provide value for you. That is what people want. And at the end of your video is a great place to do that. Now, let's go back to the beginning of the video. Other than, you should be giving them a hook at the beginning, you should be doing an intro and not asking for a subscribe. Why is that a bad place to ask for subscribers? And this is where it gets a little bit interesting. When you ask for subscribers at the beginning of your video, or say, I really need this, it's for the YouTube algorithm. I know I haven't provided any value yet, but I'm going to ask you in the first 5 seconds anyway. What that comes off as is really pandering for subscribership. It's really saying, I'm desperate. I need to grow this channel. I just want to get monetized. And there's no value proposition there. It doesn't give somebody a real reason to subscribe. But here's the kicker. Sometimes people will take that invitation and they will subscribe anyway because they go, oh man, they're asking, I might just do it just to be nice. Even though I really have no intention of ever coming back to their channel, I don't really like their content that much. When you get subscribers like that, those subscribers will become dead subscribers nearly immediately. Again, those are not people who are going to participate in your channel at all. So you can imagine, even if you got thousands of these subscribers by asking at the beginning of your video, those are not people who are going to be adding value to your channel. It's just not worth it. I know all of that's a bit of a nuanced take, but I hope that makes sense. And with that said, if any of you are going to change the way you ask for subscribers, or maybe you're going to start asking for subscribers, I would really appreciate it if you would take the time to subscribe to this channel if you are new. This is the type of value we provide to you. We want to help you grow your YouTube channel and be successful as a business owner on YouTube. We want you to turn your YouTube channel into what you want it to be. We do data gathers, we do case studies, we do deep dives on all things creators so that we can help you be as successful as possible. So if you found value, thank you for subscribing. Now let's move on to the how of subscribing. How do we ask people? Now, I would just say, generally speaking, you can refer back to what we talked about in the what and when section of this video, but just avoid being generic with it. Actually plan out very specific calls to action to subscribe, where you can actually point to the value you've created, the value proposition that you have, and say, I've given you this. If it has actually helped you, if you've been changed at all by this, please subscribe, it helps me. And I think that that's the second piece to this. It is okay to tell people that it helps you when they subscribe to you. You can definitely tell them that it supports you as a creator to have a larger amount of subscribers, to grow a valuable audience. But at the end of the day, you need to make sure that the people who are subscribing are the right audience. And so the reason they should be subscribing is not just because they want to support you as a creator, but because you are providing value to them. And lastly, that brings us to the why. Why are we asking people to subscribe? So many people over the years, like I said earlier, have said, don't ask people to subscribe. And I think that just came from a place of too many people were asking. It was like 3 or 4 or 5 times in a video, it'd be like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. That became very old very quickly. And I just think that that's why there was that huge movement. But we are here on YouTube to grow an audience. And sometimes people need to be invited to act. And so why are we inviting them to act? Number one, it's for them. We want them to find value in our content. And if we're creating content and things of value for them, we need to call them to action to be a part of what we're doing, providing the value to them. And then the second part is that you are growing the audience. And if you want to do a better job of growing, the more people you have watching, the more feedback you're going to get. You're going to have more people interacting in your community posts, in your comments. You're going to have a better idea of what people like and what they don't, making you a better creator over time. I think for small creators, we learn so much, right? It's like drinking out of a fire hose. It's just so much at once. There's a huge learning curve to being a brand new creator. But when you have a larger audience, when you have more people subscribing and more people following you, you learn a lot of different lessons that you just didn't get as much of in the beginning, and it helps you to become better. So one more time, if you found this video helpful, if it's helped you understand when to ask people to subscribe, how to ask people to subscribe, and so much more, I would appreciate it if you join us here as channel makers so that you can learn how to become a better creator with the rest of us. Thanks for watching, channel makers, and we'll see you in the next one. Hey channel makers, some of you may or may not know we have an amazing YouTube system designed specifically to help people succeed as creators on YouTube. As part of this, we have tons of course material to take you from day one of being a creator to having a YouTube empire with websites, selling products, selling information, whatever it is you want to do or whatever it is you aspire to do, we want to help you get there. We have podcasts, we have masterminds, we have course material, we have a community of people just like you trying to make it on YouTube to support you in your journey. If this is something you think you'd be interested in, check out the links in our description so that you can see if Project 24, our YouTube system, would be a good fit for you. Hope to see you inside.